Hi everyone, welcome to The Construct, welcome back, welcome to 2022, welcome to our first episode. So, my name is Opilile Ganimpemba and I'm basically your average construction girl that is helping you navigate your way through sites, bills, quotes and invoices. This is your channel for your typical SMME, just to kind of navigate yourself in the built environment better. So basically today I want to cover just construction trends for 2022. Like the past 2 years for construction have just been so we haven't really known what's happening, what are we going to be doing, there's nothing has been concrete. We knew that we were working, we knew that work was steadily coming out, we knew that some of us were hungry, we knew that some of us were thriving, because some people did thrive during lockdown, guys, don't get it twisted. So we couldn't forecast anything in terms of just trends. So today I want to, just from my part and things that obviously from the average SMME, things that you should be looking out for, in terms of just how you're going to enter the market in 2022. So the first one, material shortage. Material shortage versus worker shortage. Okay, material shortage. Okay, let me leave it. Material shortage, worker shortage. Anyway, so material shortage literally affects like the whole industry, because as much as if you're a manufacturer, you still need material, and even if you're on site as well, you still need material. Like you can't carry on with your project if you don't have material. You can have the skills, the labor, everything else, but if you don't have the core materials that you need, like literally you can't do anything. So basically with the shortages that we've been having, I think I mentioned it in a couple of my other videos where I was talking about steel. So the shortage of steel, wood, steel, wood, bricks, cement, suffocated the industry, guys. Like, so can you imagine, like in construction, how dead we are if we have a shortage of that material? So obviously that affected a lot of other things in the industry, which meant your price, your project cost would go up, your manufacturing, your raw materials would go up. So like the industry was very, very, very shaky. And then we have the worker shortage. The worker shortage, it trails back. It's not just, besides the fact that construction doesn't pay that great. It's not even about that. It actually trails back. It trails back to shortage of the truck drivers, which which makes transports a bit more expensive, which makes lead times more expensive, which makes, like everything else, which makes the price of getting the stuff to your site more expensive. So the shortage of materials plus the workers, including and a whole lot of variables going into it, like it was a mess. But obviously we are the Polomanes, and we are strong, so we got through that. The one thing about construction is the fact that it's volatile. So everybody that goes into it already knows that it shakes. Like literally your project shakes from the time that it starts to the time, like it shakes. We were able to kind of just find our way within all of that mess. Like understand it. There's never a point where if you're in construction, you're just like, you know what, I'm having a really good time. Like it's just, we all chilled. You're always on your toes. You're always trying to get to the next project. You're always trying to negotiate prices with someone. You always try. There's always something. So you're not used to chilling anyway. Obviously now that is coming down, so we should be looking at more price sensitive strategies when it comes from manufacturing. Obviously also trying to boost the economy and one thing that really helped with the shortage was which was really smart from the steel industry, with the tariffs. The nice thing was that they blocked your Chinese imports, so whatever they could manufacture is what is going to be used on site. So that was the smart thing about the steel industry. And I remember I used to work for a Gambian company at that time, and it was really in for it. The guys were really pushing for it because they knew the Chinese imports were knocking us, bro. Like the prices were, dude, like everybody was getting into the Gambian markets. It was free for all for everybody. And then after those tariffs kicked in, then municipalities started having to use proudly SA so that kind of, the steel industry was smart in that way. I hear that the cement industry is actually they are in conversations of something like that as well. So at least it protects South African manufacturers and from Chinese imports and obviously cheaper prices, because when you import, it's just cheaper. So yeah. The second thing I want to cover is the past 2 years have been called, is it last year or the other year, or the past 2 years? I think it's the past 2 years, but it was called the Great Resignation. Like, where did all the people that resigned go? Like, where did they go? Like, it was literally named the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation. I'm proud to say I was part of that Great Resignation. I feel like they held me back, and I could have done this years ago, and you could have been helped years ago. So the Great Resignation helped. But where did those people go? Those people, let me tell you, those people went to start their own companies because they weren't feeling, now we are a better generation. We're a bit alert. This whole thing of just working for a company, not feeling invested in, not feeling like you're actually contributing to something that is worthwhile, not feeling like you're being paid enough. Because, dude, like, if I'm not going to be contributing to something worthwhile, like, pay me a shitload of money so at least I can forget about the fact that I'm not really investing anything here. So, like, people became alert of the fact that they wanted more. So that was like a rise of just construction and entrepreneurs in construction, which meant a lot of new contractors, a lot of new engineers and consultancy firms, because they realized that what they gave was value. So they would rather be consulting than actually just being in a company where you're not valued. But with that, the one thing that we need to understand about construction is that it's a low barrier market. So that means that it's a free for all for everybody. The low barriers mean that, one, there's a lot of competition. It's very price sensitive. So that means that customers have kind of like the bargaining power here, and they are willing to choose whether they go for, if your product is a rand cheaper. No, so they're not very brand loyal. It's all about price. It's all about where can I get the best price. Strategies in a market like that. So if you're going to go into a market that is already, it's not overly saturated, but it's constantly getting people that are coming in, is that you constantly, one, you're always on your toes. The product curve, you should always make sure that you are always introducing something and diversifying. When it comes to service, you're always bringing in new initiatives and new ways of solving the customer's problem. Finding new ways to cut project cost is like literally the one thing that makes you like the cream of a project manager. So that means that as a consumer, so whether you're a contractor and you are consuming a certain type of material, it means that you have a lot of power. You have power over the things that you purchase, and not just in price. What is it behind that brand that you are buying? Besides price will always shift. There are so many other things that you need to take in consideration. Is it eco-friendly? What is the BE level of the company that you are actually investing your money and your project in? It's something that's very important. It's something that we can change the market in the way that they navigate. Guys, we've got companies that are level 6, 7, that are taking products straight from fresh off their shelves to the site, because us as consumers and the government is not really backing us in terms of the smaller black companies. So we have to be, when you are buying and you say, oh no, I need certain things for a project, well, let it matter. That means that the inclusivity within that company, what does it mean? What does it mean about that company? Are we wanting to push the narrative of they don't need BE? So why are they going to invest in us? Why are they going to push in us? If literally we are not kind of choking them and saying, if you are not willing to go through a black distributor or input more people into your ownership, then you don't deserve my money, Number 3, digitization, or are we just kidding ourselves? Okay, when it comes to your engineers and the technology, I think they're using 4D now. So digitization is happening because now they're getting more techie, and they're getting more for their buck. So project costs are going down, your wastage is going down, because obviously now things are more monitored. There are better systems to kind of control factors and to create better systems to put in place for sites. So from that part, I've seen the change. But in terms of us as consumers and digitalizing, I don't know. Hey, like, I don't know. Okay. Okay. The one thing that at least what the government entities are stepping it up. I'm not gonna lie. I think COVID kind of gave them a nudge of, hey guys, your systems need to get in place. I know that NHBRC is doing a pilot on actually doing our things, but knowing us in construction, we'll still want to go in and stand in those lines because we're just like the Capitec people. Like, you still want to go and stand in that queue. Why don't you just withdraw when you are taking out your money, when you are doing your groceries? Like, okay, yeah, but we are just like that. We are just like that. We are that. If you want to go and do, if you want to get your company registered, you need to pay someone to do it. If you know, like we just like that. We don't want to do things ourselves. So in terms of just this year and digitizing consumers as just how we consume things in construction, I don't think so, but we can try. But the nice thing is that those platforms now are actually out there and they actually exist, which is nice. So when we decide to step up to the plate because we just don't want to, then it will be readily available. Another thing that is very important that I can see that this year is that compliance, guys. Yo, compliance. They're going to be strengthening the compliance in terms of our bills and everything that you're going to be putting in. So it's good now that you actually start getting used to what it is right now, so you can see the changes and the amendments that they're going to be making. So the government is looking at letting successful bidders. So if you bid for a project and you're successful, that you can actually transfer that debt to a third party. So example, the bank. That would be really nice because then you give a lot of contractors leeway to kind of maneuver and improve their businesses, because sometimes you don't have the cash readily available. So that would actually help a lot of contractors to scale their business, because this year we're all about scaling now, guys. Like, you can't just be, oh no, it's all nice just to be code 8 or level 1, or it's not just about that. We won't grow if it's just the codes that you have in place. You have to also think about how you're going to invest in your business and what exactly are you investing in, because in as much as we are putting into tenders and all of that, it's not an investment. Like, that the government is looking at the government is really taking this private, collaborating with private now in terms of just infrastructure. So that is nice, because once it will help our economy recover faster, one, but also it gives us a wider base to it opens up the market for us, because now with all the construction projects that are going to be taking off because of private investment, because obviously the government can't really afford us right now, once we get that cash injection from private investments, your developments are going to start, and then we are in the cheese. But if you want to be in the cheese, we have to know that you have to be the best, right? With private, it's not just level 1. You have to be the best. You have to be the best contractor, and it's not just on paper. It's not just about compliance. It's about, as a company, as a brand, as a strategy, as your work, your service. It has to be strong, and with that, it's not just because you are level 1. Like, that doesn't show your competence. So we need to be investing in our service delivery, and we really need to start really brushing it with a fine comb, like the things that we do in terms of the way that you respond to your customers, the way that you go into projects, the professionalism that you go into projects, the time frame that you put in it. And it's in order for us to be able to dominate the private sector. So if that happens, oh lulu. But I know with 2022 that a lot of housing projects are going to be coming in, and have already started. So if that's your arena, that market right now, it's nice and hot. But obviously, if we're going to be also bouncing into private as well, you really need to stand out. So thank you guys for coming into just my construction trends. I want to start keeping these videos at a bare minimum. I know that I've probably ranted and I've probably gone way past 11 minutes, but I just wanted to give you like an idea of, okay, so going into 22, what's our game plan? What are we doing? How are we moving in 2022 just in construction? Obviously, this is just my opinion, and obviously from my view in terms of just one as a strategist in the things that I specialize in, and the factors that are obviously influencing all of those. It could be different for your industry, it could be different for where you are, but these things are kind of, they're plus minus the same. If there's a certain issue, one issue creates opportunity. So in as much as we've had a lot of issues within the last couple of years, but I think the one thing that is prevalent in 2022 is that the evolving of the average contractor is inevitable. And the evolving of the average consumer is also evolving, and they understand their power. So I think that's the one thing we need to take into 2022 as companies, as brands, as entrepreneurs. So thank you for coming on into The Construct on our first episode on the second series. I look forward to housing you for the next couple of episodes. Just tune in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I know, like, I need to kind of do a dance for that. Like, subscribe, and share. But because, you know, I'm not doing this for free. This is my payment. All I ask for you is just for you to like, share, and subscribe. You can do all. Can you imagine? All of you. One person, you can like, you can subscribe, you can share, all in one. So my name is Upili Legon Pemba, and thank you for coming onto The Construct again.